All right, this problem is a lot like some of the other ones. We're given some information about a function and we're asked to write a formula for the function in one of these two forms, right? A sine theta plus k, a cosine theta plus k. Okay, so we have those four possibilities. It could be a positive or negative sine function or a positive or negative cosine function. Now, with a lot of these things, sometimes I just have to get a visual of it, and that usually helps me. So I like to sketch the graph of this function. Okay, so it just helps me get an idea of what's going on here. So, okay, at 0 radians, okay, so either one of these functions in either one of these forms has a period of 2 pi. Period of 2 pi. Okay, so I'm just going to draw, first of all, here's 2 pi. Pi is right in the middle. And then I can put in pi over 2 and 3 pi over 2 as well. So we're starting at 5. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So we're starting up here. All right. And at pi over 2, this is pi over 2, we are down to 2. So right there. And then at pi, we're at negative 1. Okay, so there's minus 1. So that looks like it's right in the middle there. Okay, so you can see, now that's all we've got. But if it's going to be a sine or cosine function, it has to look something like this, right? And then it's just going to keep going, right? So we're just going to go back up like this if it's a sine or cosine function, because that's what we're told, that we want to write a formula in one of those sine or cosine forms. All right, so that's a sketch of now what the function would look like. Now, when I see that, I think cosine, right? Because I'm starting high, going down to the valley, and starting back at the peak, or ending up back at the peak. Okay, so where's the midline? Well, it's going to be halfway between 5 and negative 1. So remember, you can just take the average. 5 plus negative 1 is 4, divided by 2 is 2. Or you can reason it out just by seeing what's right between, in the middle between negative 1 and 5. So, but our midline is going to be y is equal to 2. And what's our amplitude? Well, it's just the distance from the midline up to the peak. So the distance between, let me just write it out here, amplitude is going to be the difference between 5 and 2. So the amplitude is 3. All right, so we're going to be a cosine function, and it's going to be positive cosine because we're starting high. We're starting at the high. We're starting at a peak, and then ending back up at a peak. If we were starting at a valley and then ending back up at the valley, or ending back up at the value, then it would be a negative. But in this case, it's going to be the positive cosine. Amplitude is 3. So we get 3 cosine theta plus the k value, which is the midline. And there we go. That's the equation for this function.